Well, good morning, welcome to another video. It is really early this morning, as you could probably tell by the bags under my eyes and how dark it is. But I'm going to make today's video really short and really quick and to the point because I'm on a family break at the moment in the beautiful Lake District. And I know I promised last week that I'd do a video about ISO in particular. And I've got a great opportunity to do that this morning. Now here in front of me, you see this beautiful little cottage that's got a really simple composition. Perfect balance of the cottage and a nice tree just to the left of it. And because it's blue hour still before the sun's up, there's hardly any ambient light. Now I'm going to do this handheld. I would normally do this with my tripod, but it really demonstrates what my point today if I do this handheld. So if you're an absolute beginner, basically ISO controls how sensitive the sensor inside your camera is. That means that low ISO gives you a darker exposure, but high ISO gives you a brighter exposure. But because it's more sensitive, it produces a lot more noise in the picture, digital noise, particularly in the shadows. I put a demonstration of that on the screen. It's like almost like film grain, but in a digital form. Now, because of that fact, a lot of people keep their ISO really, really low all the time. But I don't think that's always a really good thing. And here's a couple of reasons why. First of all, let me demonstrate with this scene. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot this picture at ISO 100, f3.5. It's a nice wide angle shot, so we get lots of light in. Now what you'll notice with that is because it's such a slow shutter speed to let enough light in for a good exposure, that the picture is really blurry at its edges. That's a really bad thing. So what I can do is if I bump my ISO up to 800, we get a faster exposure, which means a faster shutter speed, which means a less blurry picture. Now, I want a little bit faster again, so I'm going to actually bump it up to ISO 1600. Now, look at this picture. Now, what you'll see there is that there's a little bit of noise in the shadows, particularly on the ISO 1600 one, when it's completely unedited. But I'm going to put on the screen now the pictures side by side, the ISO 100 and the ISO 1600. Now you tell me which picture looks worse. The one that's really blurry and the edges are all soft, or the one with a little bit of noise but is nice and sharp. In my opinion, sacrificing a little bit of noise in your picture in order to have a good sharp exposure is much, much better. Going up to ISO 800 is absolutely fine, and if you have to push it up to 1600 on a crop sensor camera, bigger sensors tend to be better with higher ISOs, but don't worry too much about using higher ISOs in your pictures. Especially if you're a beginner, it's much better to get good sharp photos that are great for editing back in Lightroom, and you can even use a little bit of denoise AI in your photos, which will make a big difference. Now, don't push that too far because in a lot of them, especially in Lightroom, it sort of makes the picture look muddy and painty. Some people like that, but personally, I don't push the denoise ever over about 40 for my pictures because it starts to look like it's been altered then. But pushing it up to there, it gets rid of so much noise and the picture will be nice and sharp. So like I said, a really short video to the point. I hope you've enjoyed it. Next week, I'm actually going to be from this location again, and it's an absolutely beautiful location here in the Lake District. So, in the meantime, if you want to watch a video that YouTube thinks you'll like, then watch this video here, and I'll see you next time.